Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? Great to see you, Sammy and Jeff. Nice to see you here too, and a few others in the background as well. And yeah, there is quite a lot of echo in that studio. It's going to be interesting to see what effect all of the sound stuff that I'm going to do in there has. I'm hoping it's going to do quite an effective job. So yeah, this week has been well, I say this week, only the past couple of days really has been the studio build. To be honest, I've not had a very productive week from a YouTube point of view. Hey Tony, great to see you here. Yeah, so this week in my my YouTube channel, you may have noticed, if anybody's been following along with my Vlogmas videos, that there haven't really been any Vlogmas videos this week. I did do one yesterday, which was about the studio, but apart from that, zero. Zero productivity from a YouTube perspective. Some stuff going on in the background, obviously, as always, and oh, that other thing called work. But yeah, my parents arrived last week, and great to see you, Gretchen. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, my parents arrived last week, last Friday, and so yeah, basically, I've just been spending time with them. Haven't seen them for 2 years, so yes, the YouTube productivity has suffered because that's where my time's been going instead. But I will just give my regular update on my channel because I am still aiming for my goal of 365 videos in my first year on YouTube. Actually, it's around about 6 months now since I started, because it was 15th of May was my first live stream, first video to YouTube. So yes, just about 6 months. It's not 6 months, is it? It's 7 months. There you go, though. And let me just stick this up. So here we are, week. Do you know what? I've not updated the days on this. We're actually on day 218. But I have updated the video. So 174 videos, so only really 2 more than last week. And 932 subscribers. So that's gone up by almost 50 actually in the last week. So that's quite a lot compared to previous weeks. And we're nearly at that target of 1,000. Not that it's a major milestone, but it is just one of those YouTube milestones, isn't it? To get to the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Well, I passed 4,000 watch hours quite a long time ago, actually. So yes, we'll see where I get up to. But perhaps I'll be there by the end of the year. Still got 2 weeks to go. And yeah, at the sort of rate that my subscribers normally increases, I should probably get there before New Year. So that'll be a nice little milestone to hit before the end of the year. And yeah, so what have I been doing this week? Well, as I say, the Vlogmas has taken a bit of a backseat, as has the rest of my content creation, and also the course creation. So I'm creating my Zoom course. So the plan was to be doing an update on the Zoom course on every one of my live streams. To be honest, there hasn't been a huge amount of tangible progress that I can actually show yet. So I've still been doing some more stuff on the back end, started making some of the videos, but yes, nothing to actually show you in terms of the process and things like that. So perhaps that will be now next week instead, where I can show you the sort of all the funnels that I've built out for it, which should technically be finished by then. Although I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that, because for me, my next live stream would be Christmas Day. So I'm probably not going to get up and do an early morning Christmas Day live stream. I'll have to figure out something about that. see what I'm going to do instead. But yeah, I have been doing the studio build, and this is going to, by the way, I feel like this is going to be a bit of a short live stream, but what I'll do is I'll stick up my link in a moment, so anybody who does want to jump on and come and chat about anything is welcome to do so. But yeah, I did start my my studio build, so I'd been on and off with it really. I said that I was going to do it a couple of weeks ago, and then it sort of got put on the back burner because Santa Claus was using it as a Thailand-based storage depot for Christmas presents. But I've told him to find somewhere else, and we've cleared it out again. So yeah, what I've done so far though with it is I have completely cleared it out, and I've painted it with the paint color as recommended by Doc Rock, of course. And I've got myself a couple of Nanlite Pavo tubes for the colored light, and yeah, I've it's actually quite amazing really to see how well it absorbs the color. Now I've got a little picture, which is actually 4 pictures somewhere here. Let me have a little look. Where has it gone? Move to this one, and where did I put them? So this is basically 4 pictures of a grey wall with different coloured light on it. And in fact, it was actually the same. It was actually after the first coat of paint, so you can see how it's a little bit blotchy there. But it's quite amazing how it does just give such vibrant colour, even though it's just a sort of a grey. A grey paint basically, and it's darker than I was expecting as the grey without the light on it. So you wouldn't really think that it would give such a vibrant colour, but it does nevertheless. So that's where we are with that. I've also got this one with sorry for the cheesy grin there. That was the wall with a couple of lights on it, just to see how it's taking on the colour. So the space is around about. Let me think how big it is now. I've forgotten in feet how big it is. It's about 12. No, hang on a minute. It is 4 meters. So that is about 13 foot by about 3.2, which is about 10 foot. So say 11 foot by about 13 foot, something like that is the size of it. That was the video that I posted for my Vlogmas video. There is quite an echo in it, but I'm going to do a lot of sound treatment with it. Let me just pop this one up while I remember. If anybody fancies coming on and having a chat about anything. So yes, I did the painting. I say I did the painting. I actually got some cheap foreign labour in terms of my my father from the UK visiting. So he's been helping with the painting as well. And then, yeah, lots of other things to do. I beefed up the security a little bit because it's a completely separate building at the bottom of the garden. So with the amount of stuff that I'm going to be putting in there, I just thought I wanted it to be a little bit more secure. So added a bit more security to the windows and things like that. Got to add a better lock on the door as well. But then a few other things to do in there before I can sort of even think about moving in. One of which is adding in the hardwired internet. So it's a bit far away from the house to have good Wi-Fi, and I wouldn't want to rely on that in any case. So I'm going to run a LAN cable to it. So it's around about 50 meters, I think 45 meters actually, from sort of router to the desk. So yeah, got that cable on the way, which should be arriving tomorrow, I think. So I'm going to get that in there so that I can have obviously hardwired internet. And then I've also got some acoustic insulation coming. So these are panels which are basically 2 foot by 4 foot and then 2 inches thick. And these are, it's sound absorption material. So it's rather than, there's lots of different materials you can use. I've obviously been to the school of YouTube for how to make acoustic panels, and there's lots of different ways you can do it. I saw one really good one, and in fact Rich mentioned this on one of my other live streams about a guy who basically made wooden frames and then just filled it with old towels and then covered that with material, and it's amazing the effect it has on the acoustics. So at the moment, obviously it's an empty room, so it's very echoey. But yeah, I'll be making these with this acoustic insulation and then just wooden frame and some material over the front of them. I think it was Greg last week actually on my stream said about how you can get the material printed so that you can put prints over the top of the frames. So have them actually become works of art. I don't know that I've got the time to do that, to be honest, or know where I could get that done locally, so I might give it a miss for now, but then maybe add them on later. So for now, it'll probably just be plain material. And yes, that's right, Jeff. I've got to keep him on his toes, keep him busy. So yes, that's the next step really. Those are coming tomorrow. I think tomorrow. So then I need to get the timber to make the frame, and then the material. Well, yes, it wasn't old wet towels. It was some quite thick ones. But yeah, it was quite effective though, wasn't it? So I'm going to have quite a lot of these actually. So I've ordered the insulation sheets. The sound insulation comes in 6 pieces per box. I've ordered 2 of those. So it's basically let me just do the quick maths. 12, or math, should I say, for my American friends. Yeah, there'll be 12 of them, and then I've got there's some windows in the building, and one of them is going to be directly behind my monitor, so it'll be blocking it out in any case. So I'm just actually going to completely block that with sound insulation, like permanently fixed in there. But then I've also got another window which is kind of like in the entryway, so I'm going to have a curtain that just sort of covers where that is, so it blocks the light out when I'm recording and also the sound. But then there's another window going to be right next to where I have the desk, so I'm going to create one of these panels that's basically on a slider, so I can slide it to cover the window when I'm recording, and then slide it back to get the light, the view, and the fresh air when I'm not. And then apart from that, there'll be those will be kind of like double-sized panels, but then I'll have some more around the walls and also on the ceiling. So I think it should be pretty straightforward to make them. There's not a lot to them. It's literally just a wooden frame with some stuff in it and some material stretched over it and sort of stapled around the back. And yeah, it should make a huge difference. It's also going to help, obviously, a little bit with not just the echo in the room, but potentially sound from outside. Although the hour of the day that I generally record at, it's probably not going to be that much of an issue in any case. Still got to get an aircon in there, although to be honest, at this time of year, it doesn't get too hot in there because it's technically the cold season, and yeah, it gets down quite cool in the evening, and then in the daytime, although it does get hot, it's everything's all cooled down. It's not like we're in these baking ovens that have been warmed up all through the day and never get a chance to cool. So the heat isn't such an issue at the moment, but I do want to get an aircon in there for planning ahead to the month after, because that's basically February. It's going to start heating up again. Although it is quite good where the little building is positioned. It's got lots of sort of natural shade and things like that, so it shouldn't get too hot in there. I've got to think about how to do the aircon though, because the compressor needs to be away. I don't want to be sitting with a compressor just on the other side of a wall, so we need to sort of move that out of the way a little bit. I was hoping when I planned to do this studio that I'd be getting my new Sony ZV-E10 to use, but I don't know if you're aware, there has been some, I was going to say supply issues. It's not really supply issues. It's just that Sony have said they're putting production on hold due to the global chip shortage. That's a little bit disappointing. I already couldn't get it in Thailand from when I was looking at my usual sources in Thailand. I couldn't get hold of one when it had first launched. And then now it looks like I may have missed the boat for the moment. So I'm going to have to have a little think about where I can try and source one of those from now, but nevertheless, I can still just use my my old camera until I find somewhere to get that from. I did order though one of those Elgato Wave LP low profile arms rather, to replace my current mic arm, which it's just a regular regular arm that you'll see on well, it's just the regular cheap arms that you can get from Amazon for mounting a mic onto, and then I've got it sort of on a cupboard over to one side, so it's separate from the desk, and it basically means that it kind of is a low profile arm. It sort of comes out at about 20 centimeters off the desk in any case. However, in the new space, then I won't really have the space necessarily for this cupboard next to it, and I plan to make a new desk in any case. Not going to do that straight away. I've got enough on my plate in December without starting to build a whole new desk setup, and so I'm going to give it a little bit more time to that and put a bit more thought into it. So I'll just be using my regular desk. I am going to convert it to a standing desk. And when I say convert it to a standing desk, I'm either going to bolt some longer legs to it or stand it on top of something. But I've decided to go for the standing desk in the new office. So yeah. But after that, I'll make myself a new custom desk. But yeah, just haven't got the time. I've still got obviously all of the rest of the Zoom course to make, so that should be keeping me busy for probably for the rest of the month, in fact. So yeah, just want to get into the studio. Part of the reason to make the studio in advance rather than wait until the new year, which is kind of what I thought I'd do, is because it will be useful to be able to do some of the filming for the Zoom course in there, because usually I'm just obviously with my green screen, and I could do some filming in here, but it's just not really set up for it. So yeah, I figured I'll just start afresh over in there, and I can do some of the other sort of things, other content for the Zoom course I can just do in there, where I am talking about things like acoustics and such like. So that's the plan there. But yeah, it's going to be a busy 2 weeks, and I've got a shoehorn Christmas in there somehow as well. And Tim, let me just have a look at this comment. Tim Schmoyer. I don't think I've heard of him. In fact, I forget whose video it was I saw. Hey Dina, great to see you here. So yeah, I'm not sure I've seen him. I'm not sure what his channel is, but I'll have to go and check that out. It will be good, Gretchen, to have another space. You see, here where I am at the moment, I'm down in the basement, and this is great because I've got a consistent space, so it's good. I've got my green screen, my lights, and everything, and it's usually nice and quiet down here. However, when the kids are up, then the living room is directly above me, so you tend to hear lots of that going on as they're running around and playing upstairs, and especially as they've been off so much recently as well. But yeah, just having a dedicated space is going to be a bit better. I'm a bit close to the wall behind me, actually, or the green screen, I should say. So in the new space, it'll be a bit better to have a little bit more space to work with. I'm also going to put in a sort of like a workbench and do some other stuff on there. And yeah, maybe have some different camera angles as well to cover some of those sorts of things as well. Although, to be honest with you, I'm not sure that the sort of stuff I'll be doing on there is necessarily suitable for my regular channel, but we'll have to see. Have to see what it finds its way into. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with the studio, really. What other things have I got to do in there? I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the back wall in terms of how it's going to look. So at the moment, I've obviously got just a completely blank canvas. I'll just pop that image up again. It is a totally blank wall at the moment, and obviously the walls down the side. I've still got to go in and figure out exactly what the shot will be in terms of like what will be in view and not in view. I like Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, can't speak today, where he talks about the cone of cleanliness, which is what you can see in the angle of the camera. Although I tend to be quite tidy in any case, but I do want to know where it can actually see. So what the frame will be like in terms of what I've got to figure out to put in there. Someone did recommend that I try and make an exact replica of my green screen background. So yeah, I'll have to have a think about that, although I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have some sort of shelves rather than just a sofa in there, because I do tend to accumulate quite a few things, so I probably would need some shelves in there in any case. So I'll figure that out. I mentioned last week about the YouTube channel Abroad in Japan, about a guy whose surname is Broad and he's in Japan, where he made a complete ramen shop set in his condo. So that was his background, and it did, or he uses it at least in some of his videos. It did make me think about the whole idea of building out a complete sort of set as opposed to just sort of a regular room, but I don't think I'm going to go there just yet. I might leave it quite free-flowing and flexible, to be honest with you, so that it can can add different things in or change it all up later. But for the time being, it will probably be maybe a plant, maybe some lights, maybe some shelves. But then what to put on the shelves, you see, it's tricky, isn't it? Yeah, I'll have to give a bit of thought to that. So yeah, that is where I'm up to this week. To be honest with you, I have not got a huge amount to talk about. I've got loads to talk about, but not on this, not related to this channel. So if anyone's got any questions about the studio, the Zoom course, or anything else that I generally talk about on my channel, feel free to drop them into the chat. Or if anyone fancies just popping on for a chat about anything tech or Vlogmas related, then just hit up the link down below, take1tech.io/join. So speaking of Vlogmas, by the way, not only have I not been making my own videos this past week, pretty much, I've also not been keeping up with everyone else's Vlogmas videos. I was trying to keep up, but I failed. And again, it's just family time as opposed to video time. So I've hardly watched anything. And in fact, yeah, I've been getting up and just having to do my my regular work stuff, which obviously never stops. But yeah, I've not kept up. So I've got to really get back on to catching up with everyone's Vlogmas, because it was good fun watching them all for the first week or 2 weeks. What week are we in now? We're coming into week 3, I suppose, aren't we? What is the duration of the Zoom course likely to be? It will be around about 30 hours, something like that. Maybe it'll be maybe 25, 30, something like that. When I've planned it all out, it just depends on as I go through and make the videos. So sometimes it will it might take a little bit longer. Let me just add this person in. 1 second. Very comedy name there. In guest number 1. Whoops, and that is set to guest number 2. Well, that's no good, is it? Let me just unlock that, and I have to take this off. 1 second, change this to guest 1. That's a bit. Hey, Rich, how are you doing?
Lovely to see you, sir. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. You too.
Oh, awesome. Let me turn I got you coming on my phone. Hang on a second. There we go. How's everything going?
Very good, thanks. Good to be spending some time with family. How about you? How's everything there?
Oh, we're just jammed up, busy as we can be. I'm with you on the not being able to watch a lot of Vlogmas stuff, so it's kind of, it's, I don't know, it's busy. I mean, our regular work is busy, but your regular work is busy, so I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But have you kept up with the advent calendar, or did you just stop doing those, or did you do them all?
No, I haven't. I haven't done that. I haven't even had the time to go in and do. I mean, they're like 30 seconds, aren't they? But I've just felt like I've not been in the frame of mind. For some
reason, I thought you had done them all ahead of time, and you were just releasing them one day at a time. Maybe that.
No, I was literally going in and just recording one on the day, and then that's what I should have done, really. What you said, but no, I was just going in and recording them, and like, oh, today I've been doing X, Y, Z, and here's the latest thing. So
because I'll be driving around saying, oh man, I forgot to look to see if there was one of those. I'm going to go back and get them all. That's the plan anyway. Go back and get them all and have a whole stream deck bank of sound.
Yeah. I've got all the clips. I just haven't actually recorded the little videos for them. So I'll probably go in. Today I'll go in and just do. I used to love advent calendars when I was little, and occasionally you'd miss a day, and then I'd go down and just open 2 of them and get 2 treats instead of 1. So I'll probably do that. Just go back and open the last 4 days, treats. 6 days, and then pick it up again.
I do have a question though. Are we going to get to meet your folks?
I don't know, to be honest. They're usually not up at this time. That's the thing. So maybe I'll try.
Well, that thing's set up all day long. You can drag them down there anytime you want.
That's true. I'll
They don't have to come at 4 a.m.
That's true. Yeah, maybe I'll get them into a video or 2.
At least so we can see where all this brilliance comes from.
Yeah, it's been trained into me.
Is that it?
Yeah. The looks skipped my generation though and went straight to my kids.
The nerve.
I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible. I'm trying to figure out how to get. Oh, I can't. Oh, never mind. Okay. I keep forgetting. I was going to bounce over to YouTube to see the comments, but I can see the comments right here.
Yeah. So Jeff is saying Michael is doing a great job with his. He is doing a great job with his. Michael from Wrinkle City, of course, doing a great job with his Vlogmas videos. Yeah, I've got to catch up with his last few as well. I've missed those, I'm afraid. But yeah, he's been
He,
doing.
he was trying to. The last thing he was trying to do was install Rosetta. He was trying to download it and install it to make a Final Cut plugin work.
Right.
I don't think Rosetta works that way. If you need it, it installs, but I don't think there's a way to. Even though he had instructions on how to hack it with a terminal somehow, but
so he sent me a question about that, a video about that. So I sent him one back where basically with Keyboard Maestro you can have it run a terminal command. So I sent him a Keyboard Maestro macro, which is basically just step 1, run the terminal command. Step 2 is open Final Cut. So fingers crossed that works. Because then.
By the way, your Keyboard Maestro start and stop the stream thing works like a champ. That's a great idea.
Right.
That's brilliant. I actually beefed it up a little bit to make sure that Ecamm was running before it executes and things like that. But
cool. Yeah, of course.
It's really an awesome thing to have.
You could also, I thought afterwards as well, do it where if you wanted to do like multiple different streams, then you could have it like on a timer. You could also use it to change profiles as well. So you can have it activate. Keyboard Maestro can activate a menu command. So because all of the profiles are technically in a list in a menu, they actually become menu commands themselves. So you could just sort of flip to a different profile, start another stream.
In fact, on the one that I tried, I set up an opening screen that's outside the folder. You know, on mine it has the folder that rotates with 10 scenes in it or whatever.
Yeah.
And I set up a scene outside of that has a starting screen on it, and that's where I start the stream from. And then the very first thing is it goes into the folder. First it runs that scene, and then it goes into the folder and starts the next one.
Got you.
And then it just runs. So it's kind of neat the way that works. So it's awesome.
Cool. How's that going, by the way? I've not been and checked on your music one.
Not very well. She comes in and I guess I could do it now, but I started having some kind of audio issues with that. On that's a brand new Mac Mini 16 with a 2 terabyte hard drive. So, and I started having some kind of audio skips. So when you're playing like a song through Spotify, which is what it does, it's epidemic sound stuff. It sounds like a record skipping. And I'm in the middle of some stuff with Ecamm with Ecamm support trying to troubleshoot that. So it has not been running this week.
Right.
Aside from those 2 times to test it. But I did run a 4-hour one and I did run a 10-hour one, and they both work like a champ. So
cool. That's good to know.
Yeah, so the timer thing worked out fine.
Yeah. Dina just quickly has asked, I'm hoping the Zoom course will cover Ecamm virtual camera use with a keynote presentation. It will indeed. So it's obviously everything about to do with Zoom, but then it's how to get more out of Zoom with applications and things like that. So one of them will be obviously Ecamm. I'll be doing a lot about how to bring Ecamm into Zoom and then do effective presentations using Ecamm. And so it'll be a bit of both, really. I'm tempted to actually split out the Ecamm stuff, leaving it in the course, but also use that as a standalone Ecamm course as well after the fact. So it'll all be included in the Zoom stuff, but then it could almost be just a Zoom, an Ecamm masterclass as well, and just take that little section.
Well, those other streaming softwares have a virtual camera as well, don't they? Like StreamYard or Restream or vMix. Do they not have that?
I know OBS does. I don't really know about. I've never really used StreamYard or anything like that. Is StreamYard browser based or?
But I thought StreamYard and OBS were I thought StreamYard was like a branded version of OBS. Is that not true?
So there's StreamYard and the Streamlabs. So
Streamlabs.
Streamlabs OBS.
I'm not sure. I get confused with all those things. I just thought they had virtual camera.
Yeah. I'll obviously be talking about Ecamm though, because the principles will be the same. But I'll be doing like a lot of heavy Ecamm stuff in there as well.
Well, basically in Ecamm, you just turn on the virtual camera and go to town. So it's not like, well, I guess if you're doing Keynote or PowerPoint, you have to integrate it somehow. So.
Yeah, but also the reason for me covering it all in the Zoom course though is because the target audience of the Zoom course is actually people not like us who have already got some sort of camera setup and that. It's for people who are still going with the camera up the nose shot on their laptop and haven't done.
Oh, so you're not even talking about camera quality or anything like that. You're just trying to beef up somebody, whatever they have with a webcam or
no, what I mean
or whatever.
Yeah, no, I will be talking about cameras and stuff, but what I mean is the target audience probably won't know anything about Ecamm necessarily to begin with.
Of course.
So although
or
I'm
Macs.
going to be Yeah. So I'm going to be marketing it to, as well as obviously the Ecamm community for the Zoom side. It'll also be
Right.
to people from outside of the Ecamm community, and so there'll be like a whole section in there that will be just a kind of almost like an Ecamm masterclass as part of it.
Understood.
So yeah, that's the plan with that. And yeah, Jeff is saying I've got to get a picture of my dad with a paintbrush in hand. Yeah. Oh yeah, so Michael that is doing his Today in History series. That's I think he started doing that as his Vlogmas, but I think he's going to maybe continue with that afterwards, which is pretty interesting. Another set of updates to Keyboard Maestro just issued. Yeah, was that was there been another one now? There was one not long ago that's had a few more little wrinkles ironed out in it. And Miles, hey, great to see you, Miles. Superman job.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm not sure.
What is he referring to? Okay,
I'm not sure.
I thought maybe I missed something.
Yeah. But anyway, hi Miles. Great to see you. And yeah, glad you like that, Dina. There we go. We're all caught up. I've not even watched Doc's stream for the past. I didn't watch the LGL stream. When was it? Yesterday? The day before? Can't remember. Yeah,
Thursdays are bad for me. I caught part of it, but I couldn't keep up. And then the stream today, the demo stream, I was running around this afternoon, so I couldn't make that either. I caught the last 5 seconds of it. But yeah, I think that's what I caught. I caught the last 5 seconds when I just got up, and it was basically saying there's not going to be any more this year till next year. Yeah. There's a Christmas party next week, though. Don't forget about that.
I'll definitely be there for that. Yeah.
Are you awake during that time?
It will be. I think it's either 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. I think 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Christmas Eve. It'll be for me.
Your work schedule. Are you working next week or not?
Yeah.
Real work. The work that pays the bills. Work.
Yeah. I've got stuff to do. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be a bit flexible with it, but yeah, I'll be working from till the end of the year. Basically, I'll be doing a bit of that, and the Zoom course though I've still got to do recording for that. So it doesn't really feel. I don't mean like all day necessarily. It doesn't. Nothing feels like work to me. That's one of the things I feel quite lucky. Is it all just feels.
There you go. Yeah.
All just feels fun and interesting. Miles has asked, I'm curious to know how wide your desk will be in the studio. The desk that I've got at the moment is basically 5 foot by 3 foot, but I would like a bigger desk. So I'm going to make one that's maybe 6 or 7 foot by 4 foot, so that I'm a bit further back from the screen, but just got space to sort of spread out and do stuff on. I often have although I do lots of stuff on, on the computer and on the screens, I do also like pen and paper sometimes, and like large sheets of paper and doing stuff like that on, and just having space to move stuff out of the way. So I will be building a desk, but yeah, not initially when I first move in. I'll just get in there. It
sounds like a door and a couple of sawhorses is all you need.
Yeah, do you know? It's funny you should say that. I was in the hardware store yesterday, and then I walked past the door section, and I just suddenly looked and thought, there's some pretty flat. Without any decoration on it, just a completely flat door. That might be nice.
I heard that a long time ago. Somebody said that if you're going to start up a company, spend all your money on chairs and don't spend money on desks, because then people will be happy to be sitting around. So you buy a fancy chair, but a door and a couple sawhorses as a desk. You don't really need anything more than that.
Yeah. You know what is quite relatively cheap here, certainly a lot cheaper than it would be in the UK, is granite. And when I was in my my office in town, I ended up selling it when we moved out of the office. But it was a big L-shaped desk, but with a granite top on it, and that was just that felt good. It was very easy to keep clean, looked good, and
my gosh, it'd be such a pain in the neck to move though. I mean, I would never ever want to own that thing.
It was a bit of a weight, but it was just aesthetically, it was very.
In my younger days, I had a pool table, and I moved twice with that pool table. And the third time I moved, I just left it behind. I didn't want it anymore. I just said, forget it.
Yeah, they're quite weighty. Yeah.
So I just said, forget it. It was over with.
What's Miles saying? Yeah, so I've got to design that and get something built. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to fit everything in, because like I said, I wanted to have some sort of workbench, so I'm just figuring out how to fit that and the bit down the side, and I worry
Are you
about
going
that
to do
after.
automatic standing lowering kind of thing or not?
Do you know? I was thinking of just going for the standing, but then have like a high stool just in case I get a bit
Are
tired.
you standing now? Or are you on a
No,
stool?
I'm sitting, but I'm thinking I
In
need
a
to be.
you're in a seated chair, not on a stool, not on a
Yeah.
perch,
I'm
not a
just
bar stool. Okay.
yeah. So in the yeah, I'm just at a regular level desk. But in there, I
Okay.
was thinking of doing it as a standing desk, and then yeah, perhaps
Mhm.
having a stool in there or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I might live to regret that. I don't know. I do think it'd be good for me to be standing a bit more, get a bit more, active for for the whole day rather than sitting down all day. Because I do feel it's like,
When all that stuff started to be the rage 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to try the standing desk. So I've made one. I just got a coffee table and put it on top of my regular desk. So it just
yeah,
made
yeah,
everything about 2 feet taller.
yeah.
It lasted about a week, and I said, I can't hang with this, man.
Right. To be honest, that's another reason for me not building my desk straight away because I've got this one. I'm just
Well,
going to jack it up and just give it a
and
go and
now
see
I've
how it
got.
goes.
You know what a Verid desk is?
I don't know. Is that one of the automatic ones that goes up and down?
It's a two-tiered thing that sits on top of a regular desk, and it raises and lowers if you want,
Cool. Right.
and it's
Yeah,
spring-loaded. And so all that's on there is my monitor and the laptop,
yeah,
and I can raise it and lower it at will. I just never
yeah.
do. It's just so
Right.
it's the stupidest thing to even own. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm never going to do it. And I've looked at, we have Home Depot here. It's a big lumber place, but
Yep.
they have these desks called Husky desks that are
Oh yes, yeah.
72,
People mentioning.
they're either 5 feet, 6 feet, 4 feet long, and then they automatically raise it. They have not motorized. You have to.
Yep.
It's a crank.
Them.
It's
Yeah,
a crank to raise and lower, or you can use a drill to raise it and lower it. But I don't know if I ever would. I don't know if I would ever do the raise part. So anyway,
yeah.
once you
I'm
commit to one or the other, you got to do it, I guess.
I'm gonna give it a test run and see, and then I might well think better of it. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And Paul's got a desk that you can push a button and raise and lower. Yeah, that's the.
But do you do it? Do you raise and lower?
I was just about to say that. I was going to say, yeah, maybe that might be too easy then for me to say. No, I'm just going to sit down.
Yeah, I mean, I forget that in fact, I probably hadn't thought about that in 2 months that I could raise that desk. I just never do.
Yeah. We'll see.
But anyway,
I remember just different seating habits at desks and things like that. People were sitting on those big inflatable balls, the big round.
Yep.
And watching Leo Laporte one day on his I don't know if it was MacBreak Weekly or Twit or something like that when his ball burst.
That's pretty funny.
It was hilarious. It was just
I didn't see that, but
a clip of it on YouTube. But
I worked with a guy that had one of those. He swore by it, but
yeah.
I think I tried that out for a while too. In fact, I don't even know where that ball is now that you mention it.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Hey Dale, popping in to say hello. Great to see you. Let me have a look at this. The school next door to me was throwing out little colourful chairs. I got 4 and placed my iMac. That's a great idea. Yeah, as a riser. little kiddies chairs as the riser for the monitor.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And Paul says didn't raise it frequently, but it comes in handy at times. Hacking a cheap desk lift. Let's have a look. Now, just quickly, where's Dina? She's asking, how do you change Zoom recording speaker view to gallery view with recording? It's actually in the, rather than the setting, there's 2 sets of settings in Zoom. There's either the settings that are in kind of like part of the app, so you click the little cogwheel and then it's in there. But this one is actually in the Zoom settings in your account. So you go to your account and it's in there. Let me just see if I can find that. It's basically in the Zoom web settings. There's loads of stuff in there. It's I was on I don't know if you know Lala. She's got the channel. She's in the she did Leader. She was one of the moderators in there. She's got what's it called? Mommy Crafts Inc. She does a crafting channel.
Okay.
On YouTube.
I don't know her, but that's Yeah, I don't know.
But she had me on there this week talking about Zoom, so not necessarily crafting, but she was, as part of her Vlogmas video, she's doing a series of interviews, so I was on there. But one of the and I was giving like sort of Zoom tips. One of the tips of mine, although I did expand on it to give some actual tips, one of them was just go through all the settings. That's what I do every time with any app, and just go through and just read all the settings, because it's amazing how many people say, I say, oh, you can, press spacebar to temporarily unmute, and they're like, wow, I never knew you could do that. But it's just, if you just read through all of the settings, it's like, check this, do you want to be able to do that or not? So it's just always a good habit to get into.
Your Zoom class is going to be geared towards people that host meetings, probably, right? Because I can't do a lot of stuff as an attendee that you're talking about, like record and things like that.
Yeah, so it is everything. It's like how to it's for people who host meetings, but then also people who attend meetings but want to look good. Then they can get the sort of camera side of stuff.
Well, okay, so, that's a different side, right?
And then like the settings. So even as an attendee, things that you can change. So for example, like in gallery view, 25 people is the standard, but you can have up to 49. Shortcuts for flicking between screens, shortcuts for popping up the chat, saving the chat, all that sort of stuff. So there is stuff that will be useful for people who are like regularly attending meetings as well. But yeah, it is I suppose primarily geared for people who are setting up those sorts of things as well.
That's one thing about Zoom that bugs me. If I'm late to a meeting and I want to save the chat, it only shows the chat from when I joined. It doesn't show the whole chat.
Yes, yeah. It's a bit annoying. And I had that before where like my connections dropped out and then I've gone back in and then it's obviously lost the stuff from before as well.
And I did not know that any direct messages between two participants appear in that chat for everyone.
What it is if you save it, your private messages will be in there. So if somebody says, okay, hey, can you send me the chat, and you've saved the chat and you send your version of it to them, then that will have all of your messages in. But it won't save.
It doesn't have everybody's message, just mine.
Yeah, it's just yours.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
It's just to be wary if someone says, "Oh, can you send me a copy of the chat?" and you save it, it will have all of your private messages in there then.
Not necessarily the whole team.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I guess that makes sense.
The other one that's quite good on Zoom is you can, like in recording, you can record separate audio tracks as well. So if you are doing like interviews and stuff like that on Zoom, then you can save the separate audio if you want to edit that afterwards.
So if you have 5 people on a chat, you can save 5 different audio files?
Yeah.
Or 50 or whatever you have? That's crazy.
Yeah, and that is in, that's just in the regular settings where you've got like the video and stuff like that. That is in the recording section. It will have, save.
Is there stuff in Zoom you can do without a paid account, with the free account?
Loads of the stuff actually. I mean, the limitations on the paid versus the free. There's obviously the time limit. Although I think they were talking about removing the time limit. But yeah, I mean, lots of the functionality you can still do with just a free account. Yeah. The time one was always the big thing there, really. I can't talk and navigate at the same time, but I'm just going in. So it's in the Zoom settings. Let me see if I can get, here we go. I'll share my screen just a moment. Now, which bit of my screen am I sharing? This is going to be totally random where this window is.
That was such a polite way to tell me to shut the heck up.
No, I'm hopeless at doing two things at once. But here you go. So, Dina, I'm now in. I've gone into Zoom, and then I've gone into the settings, and then if you go in recording, you can see record active speaker with shared screen or record gallery view with shared screen. So that's where the options is. So it's under the recording section of here, rather than under the Zoom recording itself. So yeah, that's there is quite a lot to go. With all the settings and stuff like that. There's lots of different settings in there, but there's lots of it is still available with the free version as well.
My sound just screwed up on me. It bounced over to my headphones. My speakers. Anyway, I put it back. We're good.
Oh, Gretchen says, in 1984, I built a computer desk from 2 doors and 2 file cabinets. Yeah, that's a great one as well. Using the filing cabinets on either side as the desk, the stands for the desk as well. That is genius. A pre-cut pass-through for cords where the doorknob would go.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's already built. That's good.
It's already done for me. Yeah. I might go and take another look at that, actually. I did go and see, obviously, the big sheets of, what's it called? The
Masonite? Is it called Masonite or TSP or MSF or M?
No, it was just the, what's
MD?
the stand? MDF board for the top. That
particle board. Is
so
that melamine?
There's no, melamine's, I think, sort of more plasticky, isn't it?
I don't know. It's a top that's laminated to that particle board.
Ah, right, got you. Yeah.
Here it is, but I don't know what they call it there.
Yeah, I get you. So it's a melamine covered particle board. Get you. Yeah. No, it was just I went and saw the like the big sheets, the regular size sheets of wood that you get, and I just thought that would be quite a nice desk size. So what are they normally? 4x8, is it?
Are you talking about plywood or are you talking about something else?
So I had a look at MDF because if I'm going to put some sort of topping over the top of it, rather than it would just be an easy way to get a desktop that I could then add something on the top of. I'm still thinking about the granite thing, but I'll have to maybe think a little bit more about it.
Does it need to be smooth?
For the desk?
Yeah.
Ideally, I guess not totally smooth, but just any.
Because I've often thought about getting 2x12s or getting like 3 2x12s and then strapping them together like a door, like a barn door.
Got you. Yeah.
And then making a tabletop that way. I haven't done that. I just was thinking that might be a neat look. But
yeah, that would actually. Yeah, well, that would work.
But it wouldn't. I don't know. It's not smooth. You couldn't use it to ride on and stuff like that. You'd have to put something underneath. It would be an uneven texture.
Oh, I get you. I see. Like sort of more like untreated timber. So that's still got the
or reclaimed barn wood. I mean, here there's a lot of old buildings, and so they tear them down and they save the wood and they do stuff with it. So
yeah, there's a lot of wood reclamation yards around here actually, because all the traditional old houses are all timber, but they're obviously going more to brick and concrete and things like that these days. So yeah, there's lots of. Give me an idea there. I'll have to go and check out. There's like whole villages where that's the one thing that they do. They tend to have a thing in Thailand where you'll get one village that specializes in like one thing. So there's a village that's just got like loads of timber reclamation yards in it. It's quite amazing. I'll have to go and have a look down there. Thanks.
Every time I think of Thailand, I think of huts. I don't think of anything that's built and nice and concrete. I think of huts, but I don't know. I don't know Thailand from anything. I just know what I've seen in pictures. So
right. Yeah, well, they've got like a really unique traditional style of house building with like traditional Thai style houses. But nowadays it's all just sort of reinforced concrete and brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there earthquakes or something there? Why would they build out of concrete?
It's just it gets around the termite problem, so they get a lot of termites here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, it's I suppose just
and probably hurricanes. You get hurricanes?
Not too much, really. No, we do get some strong winds like down by the coast, but not massively. We did have like a couple of big storms last year actually, but generally it's we don't get anything too bad here for that.
Interesting.
And Jeff saying MDF on a frame and leatherette texture on top to make it look pretty. That's interesting, like a leather desk pad, but just the whole desk.
Yeah, that's one thing about MDF. It'll sag if you don't put something underneath it.
Oh yeah, you got to have a frame under it, haven't you?
Yeah, if you do something very long, very wide, it'll bend for sure over time. Humidity will tear it up too.
Oh no, that's a point. Yeah, because it does get pretty humid. That's one thing about Thailand; it's pretty humid. Yeah, maybe I'll think again about that.
If you can see
hello
that somehow.
To our friend in Malaysia, someone from my area of the world. Still quite far away, but still, it's at least the right side of the world for me.
The same side of the planet.
Same side of the planet, so it feels a lot closer.
It's funny.
And Dina, that's strange, she said. I don't have those settings in my Zoom account. Let me just quickly go back to that just to make sure we're in the same place. Move the window out of the way. So I've gone into my Zoom account, and then it is personal settings. So when you go into settings, there's different areas of it, and then you've got meeting, recording, and so on. And so it's in the recording section. So where is it missing? Is it missing from this list, or is it that these settings here you can't access those in the same way? Interesting to know. Yeah, let me know, and we'll try and figure it out. And Gretchen is saying we can find extra wide doors, 4 or 5 foot, and route the edges. Yeah, I do want a nice deep desk. It's I used to have one bigger than this, the one that I've got at the moment, but it's missing.
Be careful. Far away, you can't reach stuff on the other side of it. So
yeah. So it didn't want to be too much bigger. Obviously, I don't want it to be yeah.
Plus, that room is only, if it's only 10 by 12, that a door is going to take up a lot of space, a lot of floor space if you don't be careful.
That's true. Yeah, I've sort of paced it all out, or looked at it on the floor. So it's quite good having tiles, I find, because it's they give you a nice little grid pattern to work with. But
how high are your ceilings in that office? In that cottage?
Must be, is it 7
Is it standard or is it really high?
7 foot, something like that. So not really 7
is
foot,
that typical?
8 foot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think about 8 foot, something like that.
Okay.
Whereas in here, it's a lot lower in the basement. And it's missing from Dina's recording list, I see. And it's a free account. I don't know if that's something that, I didn't think that was something that was specific to a paid account. I'll check up on that though, and I'll get back to you, Dina. I'll try and figure out why that is. I don't think that should be a paid account feature. Usually with those you can sort of see which ones are and aren't, but I'll figure it out and I'll get back to you with an answer about that. Gretchen's saying you could do a resin the top of reclaimed wood. I tell you what, I get mesmerized by some of those things. I've seen quite a few videos where people get like they'll get like the sort of frame of where they want the table, and then they'll put like like the living edge wood where you see the sort of bark and that as well, and then put a few of those in, and then they pour the resin in between them, so that you end up with this thing that's let me see if I can get a picture of these, because they do look pretty amazing.
It's like flat varnish or something, or urethane or something like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but you can make cool patterns with the wood that you put in there.
Right.
So yeah, stuff like this. Hang on a minute.
Sounds like a project.
It does. So, whoops.
What do you have on the floor in there?
So like that. So where you've got
nice. That's pretty cool.
Wood on either side, and then the resin down the middle. But then there's people who make like all sorts of different patterns, so it looks like this one. This is pretty cool. I'm just getting more and more ideas today, like that. So it looks kind of like a river, but then the top's completely smooth because it does have the resin over the top of it as well.
So it's continuous to the touch. It's smooth all the way across. That's really nice. Look at that.
Yeah, and so they've just obviously got the really interesting bit of wood, and then added the resin into. Yeah, do you know what? I might be selling myself on doing this. I don't know why I haven't thought of doing this, because I've seen loads of videos about it, and it's like when you see them making it and pouring the resin in and that, it's quite mesmerizing to watch. But yeah, you get the finish on it. This one is like completely polished, so you can see the sort of the shine on it.
That's nice.
Maybe that might be another project for the new year. Oh, this one's cool. Look at this. It looks like it's almost like a waterfall or something, all the way down to the ground.
Interesting. You're going to be busy. That's cool.
Yeah. I do have a habit of having like ideas and then just loading myself up with probably more ideas than I realistically have time for.
In the cottage, is your floor, do you have carpet or is it concrete floors?
So at the moment it's tiled, but I'll get a big rug or something like that to help with the acoustics.
Yeah, that'll help you a lot.
There you go. Look at that. It's like translucent, so you can see through the resin part. That's pretty cool.
Oh, there you go. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Is that stuff reflective? Or is there a way to get it matte? Because will that affect your lighting or not?
I suppose it would, wouldn't it? I suppose it'd get a bit of
I don't know.
glare
I
off
don't
it,
know.
but yeah, I'll have to experiment. I suppose
Yeah.
technically they do them gloss so that it's so that you sort of see the effect of it and it will look shiny like that.
Yeah.
But I'll have to have a yeah, it's a bit of another research project for me.
There's something to think about anyway in a filming environment.
Yeah. I'm getting distracted now. I'm just looking at all pictures of desks. I'll close my browser. My mind's going off on tangents now. I should be focused.
Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to punch out. It's 5 o'clock here almost, and so I'm going to roll home.
Cool. Well, thanks for stopping in, Rich. And
lovely talking to you again. And if I don't talk to you before
too.
Christmas, have a good one and give all your kids
do.
a hug and say hi to your folks. And
Will do.
Off.
I'll try and jump on one of your streams in the next few days as well.
If you see one, I'm pretty much spent. I don't really can't think of anything else to do. Anyway,
cool.
I'll do one for you though. Anyway,
we'll
talk.
Okay. All right.
Take it easy, Alex. Bye.
Cool. Great to see you, Rich. Bye.
Yeah. Have fun.
Okie dokie. Well, to be honest, folks, I am almost done myself. I've not got a huge amount today. Oh, hey, Chris. Just great to see you popping in. It's getting late there. And great for you to pop in too, Victor. Great to see you. And also, what's Jeff saying? Also, room for the power management, perhaps a dozen or more sockets. Oh yeah, I've got to sort out the wiring. I have actually got plenty of power in there. That's not an issue because when I had that all wired in the beginning, I did sort of plan ahead. So it didn't have an aircon in for ages, but we've got the wiring in there for that, and then I planned for having a bit more power in there. So I've got to do that. Although I hadn't actually planned for it to be an office, so of course the sockets are in not enough sockets exactly where I need them. So I do have to do a bit more wiring, and perhaps room behind the desk for lighting stands and to enable. Yeah. So what I was going to do with the desk was I was going to put it on massive wheels, so you can get like big sort of like casters really, but industrial size casters. Thinking ahead to it being a granite desk. And my monitor at the moment is on a TV stand. So I've got a 43-inch Philips monitor, but it's just mounted to a TV stand, like one of those wheeling TV stands. That's what my camera's mounted to. Teleprompter, my overhead camera as well, is mounted to that. So the whole of my monitor setup is actually freewheeling in any case. So I was going to have the desk slightly away from the wall so that I can actually just slide the whole monitor out. I haven't actually mounted my Mac Mini to the monitor stand, but I'm going to do that as well. So then it will in effect just be an all-in-one unit, and then have the desk so that I can wheel it out as well. So definitely a great idea then. And the UPS are all mounted to it as well. That's one of the other things I've got to do is I've got to set up a NAS. I haven't got one of those at the moment. It's one of those things that's been on my list of stuff to do. It's also good because I might do that while my parents are here as well, because then I could just get two of them, set them all up, and then my parents could take one back with them, and then we could have this sort of syncing thing going. Because with the Synology, what you can do with those is if you've got one and someone else has got one, then you can have your stuff backing up to their drive and their stuff backing up to your drive. So then you've got the redundancy. You only get access to your own stuff, obviously, but it means that you've then got an off-site backup, which is one thing to always bear in mind with the backup is it's all very well having a Synology that can back up everything, but if it gets stolen with your computer, you've still lost all of your stuff. So having an off-site one, then it's definitely good. So I might end up doing that next month as well. We'll have to see. Another job for the jobs list. It's one of those jobs that's because I've got stuff in different places. It's just never really made the time to sit down and actually get it all set up. But perhaps that might be something for January. And oh, great! Dina's saying she's going live on YouTube soon. We'll have a good stream. Catch you later. Gretchen. The resin is 2-part self-leveling sealant, and you can add the color to the resin. Do you know what? The more I'm thinking about this and the more of those pictures I'm looking at, I'm really thinking that's what I need to do for my desktop, because I could get some really nice looking wood to use from it, for it. So yeah, I think I might do that. I'm going to start thinking about it and go to the timber yard and see what nice bits of wood I can find. Just got to figure out. I'm sure I can get the resin from here, no problem. So yeah, that would be a nice little project. And oh, no problem, Chris. And Michael, great to see you here as well. I was just saying earlier, I've still got to catch up on your videos. Did you get, by the way, because Rich was just on and then was asking about the Final Cut thing with the terminal command that you have to put in. I just wondered if you'd had time to try out that keyboard maestro thing and if it worked, crucially, because it was one of those things where I thought it would, but we'd have to see. So good to know if that worked or not. Love to see monitor standard. Do you know what? I don't think that I can do it at the moment. I've kind of unplugged a load of things to use for the studio, so I'm not sure I can plug anything in. What I'll do is I do a studio video when I move the monitor stand there. I'll do a proper thing of it and show exactly how I've got it set up, because it's a regular TV stand, but then I've bolted some other things to it because they're really adjustable in any case. So you've got different bolt holes that you can move the TV mount up and down on it. So there's loads of sort of free holes when I've got it in the right position that I could bolt other stuff to. So I bolted like one of these movable arms. I bolted one of those to it that's got my overhead camera on. I had a place where I could bolt my camera tripod sort of ball head mount to it, so that's just sitting on top of it as well. So it's actually quite good to be able to sort of bolt things to. The Visa mount that you have for the TV is the wide Visa mount, but then it's got holes on the back that you could have a smaller Visa mount. And what that means is that you can get the cages for the Mac Mini that's designed to bolt onto the back of a regular monitor. So I can actually mount that onto the back of the TV stand, and then the Mac Mini would just sort of slot into it. So that's something else I've got to get to add into the setup. And then it would just all be sitting there. I'm also going to mount the UPS as well. So I've got a UPS, which is pretty massive, actually. Believe it or not, I know maybe this isn't a great idea, famous last words, but my lights I've actually got plugged into the UPS as well. So they're not like massively, don't drain a lot of power or anything like that. And certainly, if I was just doing my regular work, then I wouldn't have them on. But it does mean it has actually saved me, believe it or not. In fact, last week's live stream, the power went off, and yet all the lights stayed on and the stream stayed up, obviously, crucially. But the power was off, so the lights would have gone off, and yet they stayed on. So it's quite a beefy UPS, and it can hang on the wall, but that means it can also hang on anything else as well. So I may just actually hang that from the back of the stand. I'll do a proper video about that though, I think, so that I can show you how it's all set up. And Michael, it worked, but I had to add an enter between the commands. Right, okay. Well, as long as it's working, that's great. Great to know. I'm just wondering why I had to add an enter there. So I suppose it added the terminal command, but didn't execute it, perhaps. Right, I see. I wonder why I did have to do that. Never mind. I'll figure it out myself. My mind's just, this is what happens with me. I go off on tangents. My mind is now just wondering about that, but I'll figure it out. But I'm glad it is working. Right. Well, with that, do you know what? It's going to be quite a short live stream this week, so it's only been an hour. I will, Gretchen. I'll definitely do a making of the desk. I'll take my camera as well to the timber yard places, because it's quite amazing. It's this little village, and there's just a road going through the village, but it's just one reclaimed timber yard after another, with loads of really amazing wood that was used in houses. So they have like timber cladding, but then also like wooden. Let me just find a little picture of this place, actually, because it is amazing, and like really nice, really kind of like antique wood doors. Let me have a quick look so I'll show you some pictures of Thai houses and the sort of traditional Thai houses, and then all of this timber is just available as from these places. Let me just come across to which one. I'll do down here. There we go. Right, so these are like Thai houses. This is a sort of traditional style of Thai house. I suppose that's a really traditional one off Shutterstock. There's like a specific layout to them, actually, like a standard layout that they have. Yeah, so all of these things, and like, let me show you this one. Can we see on here? I'll just drag this into here a minute, like that. So you see this, like, this is a very typically Thai sort of wood paneled wall, basically, and it's almost sort of made in blocks and then put into place. And then you get all this sort of wood, like here, this sort of artistically carved wood panels, like in this. This is actually the back of a seat, so it's got a built-in balcony at the front, and this would be like a sort of little, I suppose, a holiday cottage or something like that. Yeah, there's just some really nice wood there, and let me see what else. And this style of roof. Let me get this one up. This style of roof is a very traditional sort of Thai style roof. So they have it's kind of like a curve to the roof, and then actually a sort of double leveled roof, and then they have this sort of decoration on the front of it as well. So yeah, lots of reclaimed wood around the place. So yeah, I'll have to go and film the timber yards and then film the making of the desk. Definitely, Gretchen. And Michael, this is what I had to enter, and hit the enter key after. Oh yeah, so that was the little script. Oh, sorry, the shell script, and then you had to add the enter after that. Got it. Okie dokie. That's a very good point. Is the mic shielded? Yeah. So yeah, it would have to be low down, I suppose, wouldn't it? So the mic would be. I'll have to have a think about that. That's a very good point. Thanks, Michael, for that. That'd be terrible, wouldn't it? Get it all set up with the UPS mounted there, and then suddenly go to live stream, and I'm getting loads of interference and stuff like that. Yes, lots of hardwoods, and it just looks so nice. I do love sort of natural look. I'm one extreme to the other. So when I'm designing, so one of my other past lives or current past life is that of an architect, and so I do love either really ultra modern, like completely clean, minimalist with no clutter or anything like that, glass buildings, that sort of stuff. But then at the other end, I like entirely timber buildings that are just completely natural looking. I'm a bit strange like that. It's either one extreme or the other. And yeah, you can do loads of that with the router these days. Yeah, so well, I think that with that, I am going to wrap this up, and probably I'll be heading to the hardware store soon because I've still got to buy. Although it's 6 o'clock here, so it won't be open. It won't be open for another couple of hours. But I'll be down there to get the wood for the wood framing for my acoustic panel. So you can expect to see a video about that in the next day or two. And now my mind's really whirring. I don't know when I'll quite get to the timber yard to go and have a look for the. Because that's somewhere else. It's a bit far. It's not the regular hardware store. It's an actual village that's a little drive away. So, but yeah, I'll definitely get some nice looking wood to make a tabletop with. Cool. Well, that is all for me. I've moved my button, by the way. The last two live streams, because now with my Stream Deck, I've spread out over two different screens on my Stream Deck. Actually, I've got three, but generally it's two for Ecamm, and so I use one for the live streams and one for my recordings. And foolishly, the button for my end my video was in the same place, but on a different screen as the one that I used to start the live stream. But that one just ends it immediately, rather than the end button that I've got regularly. I have to double press. So the last couple of streams, I've instead of expecting to double press it or intending to double press it, the first press has actually ended it. So that's why last week my stream ended a few seconds too early. And he didn't bring his saw with him, Jeff. However, I have got one that I will rent him if he wants. So yeah. Right, well, I will see some of you in office hours tomorrow. Anyone who doesn't know what that is, by the way, buymeacoffee.com/.rock and sign up there. We meet every week on a Sunday morning for me, Saturday evening for most people, talking about all things live streaming and content creation. And I really look forward to that. That's something that anything else that comes up in the week may disrupt my videos and things like that, but I never miss Doc's office hours. So hopefully see some of you there as well. All right, that is it. How many times have I said that's it, I'm going, and then I've just not gone? It's like you hang up, no, you hang up, no, you hang up. I really am going now, though. Thank you all for coming and hanging out, and I will see you all again very soon. Have a wonderful day, and see you later. And then I forgot that I've got an outro on this one, so I've still got to waffle on a little bit, haven't I? I'll leave a link to some other great videos over on the right-hand side for those watching on the replay. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.